Hey guys, it's Sarah. I have just been a little MIA and I apologize for that, but I am back now and I will have a lot more time to film and edit videos, so get ready to see a lot more on this channel. Today I'm going to be doing a tag video. I was tagged by my best friend Lindsay over at Lindsay Ray to do the A to Z Bookish Survey Tag, and I have all of the books picked out and I'm ready to show you guys those, and I'm super excited. This tag looks like a lot of fun. I'm going to try to make it really short and fast, so let's jump into it. So the first is A, of course. If we start in the alphabet, in the alphabet, the first letter is A. And that question is an author you've read the most books from. My tower is going to fall with all the books that I have on there. It's gonna fall. Okay, the author that I'm choosing is Kristen Ashley. I have read almost all of her books and she has over 40 in publication. And oh, she's such a good author, one of my all-time favorites, and just, of course, you guys know this, but yes, she's the one I've read the most from. B, best sequel ever. Best sequel ever. I am choosing Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson because this was literally everything I could ever want in a book. It was amazing. I loved it. It was so good. Best sequel ever. Even better than the first one, which usually doesn't happen, and just so frickin' good. And I read it in a week too, so just saying. C is currently reading, and I am currently buddy reading this book with Lindsay, and that is Written in Red by Anne Bishop. It is so phenomenal. I have never read a book like this before. I'm about halfway through and it is so good. So good. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding, guys. It is so good. It's an urban fantasy about paranormal creatures living in a world with humans, and it's a whole different world and it's just crazy and so many things have happened, and our main character is so innocent and just doesn't really know about life. She's a blood prophet. I'm just not gonna beat around the bush. She's a blood prophet and she's been caged up her whole entire life, and she escapes and then she goes to live with the others who are the paranormal people. Wolves and vampires and hawks and shapeshifters, I guess. Yeah. Okay. It's really good. I highly recommend. And I haven't even finished it yet. D is drink of choice while reading. I like to drink water. Sometimes I'll have iced tea, sweet tea. That's pretty much all I drink. Maybe a Diet Coke if it's early enough, because me and caffeine don't really mix, so my iced tea is decaffeinated. E-reader or physical books. I have a soft spot for my e-reader because I read so many books off of that in such a short little amount of time, but if I had to choose, I love the way physical books feel and look, and I love that I can read them anywhere, whereas an e-reader I'm most comfortable reading in bed, so both. Fictional character you would have dated in high school. I chose Alex from Perfect Chemistry because Alex is a bad boy and he's from the wrong side of the tracks, and I find myself being probably attracted to that when I was in high school. I always wanted the bad boys who were in bands and had tattoos and had long hair, so I probably would have dated Alex if he would have asked me. I still probably would have dated him. I still probably would date him. Yeah. G is glad you gave a chance. Oh, here it is. G is glad you gave this book a chance. There are a lot of books that I could have chose for this, but I decided to choose this one because I ended up loving this book so much more than I thought I ever could, and that is Under the Never Sky by Veronica Rossi. I picked up this book last year and I thought, okay, I'll probably like it, but who knows, and it's amazing. It's one of the best books I've ever read. It was in my top 2013 books, and I just really liked it. Really did like it. Really did. So yeah, this one. This one is the one I'm glad I gave it a chance. The next book is Hidden Gem, and again there are a lot of books I could have chosen for this. The one I decided to go for is probably not necessarily a hidden gem, but I don't hear a lot about it and it's really good for not hearing a lot about it, so I thought I'd go ahead and pick this one because I feel like more people should read it, and that is Girl, Fire and Thorns by Ray Carson. This is such a good fantasy story and it's one of my favorite YA fantasies, if my only favorite YA fantasy. I don't read / like a lot of YA fantasy, but this one is phenomenal, and I've since then read the sequel and it's so good. The character development is amazing. Ray Carson is an amazing author, and I feel like not a lot of people talk about this book, and I feel like more people should, so this is my hidden gem. I is important moment in your reading life. And I am choosing Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson as my important moment in reading life because this is the first fantasy book that I ever read and I am just gobbling up all the fantasy, so I thought I would choose this one. Oh my god, just the feelings of looking at this book gives me, oh my gosh, the smells, the smell of the book. This book is tied to so many good memories and it's an important moment in my reading life. Next is J, and J is just finished. The book that I have just finished is Steelheart by Brandon Sanderson. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. It's awesome. Highly recommend. I'm going to have a review up for it, so. But it's really good. So yeah, that's the just finished book. I'm going to put it back down here in my review pile. K is kinds of books that you won't read. I don't really have a lot of books that I won't read. Okay, let's be honest. There are one type of books that I won't read, and that is survival stories, stories about diseases or pandemics, and stories about zombies, because those three things terrify the crap out of me. I have dreams all the time where I'm on the run, and I'm a huge hypochondriac, so I do not need to have any diseases in my life that are made up or not made up, and zombies are stupid and scary and I hate them. So those are the three types of books that I will probably not read. I won't say never ever ever, because I still, if the book is good, I want to read it, but those are the topics that I try to stay away from. Longest book that you have ever read, I think I'm gonna go with the one that I already talked about, Words of Radiance. It is over 1,000 pages. I think that's the biggest one that I've ever read. Yeah. Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. Major book hangover because, and of course I'm gonna have to talk about my book god one more time, because he writes books that just put me in a book hangover without a doubt. But I'm picking Hero of Ages for this one because when I finished this series and the ending of this story, I didn't think that there was ever going to be a book good enough. I did not think that there was ever going to be a book better than this series was. Ever. Never, ever, ever. But then I read Stormlight Archives and there's just no going back. But I definitely had like a huge book hangover from this book. I mean, like, ginormous, biggest book hangover I've ever had. Book hangover. Number of bookcases that you own. Okay, so here's the deal. I have 3 bookcases right now and it's too many. I have one bookcase that has no books on it, but it is a part of my other bookcase because my dad screwed them, like he drilled them together, screwed them together because of their wobbliness, and I got them from Walmart for like $25. So they are screwed together, so I can't take one out. But I'm planning on getting another bookshelf like this one, so I'll have 2 bookshelves in my room and they'll both look like this. So there you go, that's the dealio. O is one book that you have read multiple times. There are a lot of books I could have chose for this as well, but I am going to pick Lawman by Kristen Ashley because this one I've read more than any of the other books of hers, or almost it. There's one other book that could be tied, but this is one of my all-time favorites and I love this book so much. I don't understand the feelings that it gives me sometimes. That's how amazing it is. It is so good. So, so good. Yeah, this is that one. Okay, moving on. Moving on. For preferred place to read. I used to read in my bed or downstairs, but now I have a beautiful rocker that I read in and it's awesome and it's right behind me. I'm sitting in it. Quote that inspires you or gives you all the feels from a book you've read. Did you like how I read that question? Okay, I have a quote here. It's on my phone. I always have it. Always have it with me because I think it's awesome. It's by, of course, my book god, but it's okay. Here it says, this is the quote. "The purpose of a storyteller is not to tell you how to think, but to give you questions to think upon. Too often we forget that." And that is told by Hoyd in Wave Kings. R, reading regret. Okay, maybe my reading regret is going into Throne of Glass thinking it was going to be a lot better than it was because it totally ruined my reading experience and it was not fun. That's my reading regret, is listening to too much hype and feeling like it's going to be amazing and it didn't turn out to be that way. Series you started and need to finish. All of the books in the series are out. I have started City of Bones way back when I was in high school, or the Mortal Instruments series, and I have not finished them. I've read the first 5 books of the City of Bones books, or the Mortal Instruments series, but I have not sat down and read them in so many years that I'm gonna have to reread them before I even decide if I want to continue with the series. So I have them all besides the one that's just been released, so I have to burp. That was just released last month, or in July, whenever it was released. So I haven't read all of them yet. Okay, moving on. 3 of your all-time favorite books. Wave Kings / Words of Radiance, anything by Kristen Ashley, and Ready Player One. Okay, unapologetic fangirl for Twilight. That was you, by the way. T is 3. God, I'm not saying all the ABCs. Sorry, my dog's gonna start barking. There's someone in the backyard and he's gonna bark at them. Okay, unapologetic fangirl for I'm a fangirl of Twilight, and I am unapologetic for that. Also 50 Shades of Grey. Either one is good for me. Be very excited for this release more than the others. In the Afterlight by Alexandra Bracken. I need it in my hands. Or book 3 of the Stormlight Archives. Let's just make this video about Brandon Sanderson. Worst bookish habit. Yeah, worst bookish habit. Worst bookish habit. Okay, here's my worst bookish habit. I couldn't think for a second. I needed to dance it out a little bit. Is that while I'm reading, I am focused, but I also don't want to be reading. So then I put the book down and go on YouTube or go onto the computer or, you know, play a game or something. And then while I'm doing that, all I want to do is read. So I go back to reading. And it's just like a never-ending cycle. And it takes me forever to finish a book because I have a little bit of ADD in me. And so my mind is always wandering and I'm always wanting to do something else besides sitting down and doing one thing. So that's probably my worst bookish habit. X marks the spot. Start at the top left of your shelf and pick the 27th book. 27 is volume 4 of the Sweep series in that blue. It's right here, right there, but I don't want to get up and get it. So yeah, volume 4 of the Sweep series, and it is awesome book, awesome series. Highly recommend. Why is your latest book purchase? And I just bought 2 books last night. What were they? Amulet 6 and Trial by Fire by Josephine Angelini, because I've heard lots of good things. ZZZ Snatcher, haha, like ZZ Snatcher, like Sleep Snatcher. Last book that kept you up way too late. Last book that kept me up really late is probably Lead by Kelly Scott. This is the 3rd book in her series, Stage Dive series. There we go, I couldn't remember what it was called. And it's really good. It kept me up really late. I started it late, stayed up really late reading it. I didn't love it. I mean, it wasn't the best book ever, but it was really good. It kept me up late. I'll be honest. Okay, that is it. I also didn't mention that this book, this tag was created by Perpetual Page Turner, and I'll link her channel down below, the original video, and then I did mention that Lindsay tagged me. Do I want to tag anybody? I've been out of the game for a while, so I don't think I'm going to tag anybody, but if you want to do this, do it, because it's awesome. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, that is all I have for this video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Answer some of these questions down below. Let me know some of the answers to these questions, especially like the most important book, most important book moment. I want to know your guys' book moment. Like, what book is really special to you? Please tell me that down below. And what's another one? What's another fun one? A sequel you've ever read. I like that one too. Give me those 2 questions answered down below, and I would love to chit chat with you guys. I miss you guys so much. I hope you're doing well, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!